What's going on, people? Welcome to the match preview. It is FA Cup weekend, another cup competition for Palace to try and go all the way down further. This is our competition. Hopefully we don't jinx it, but come on, we've been to the FA Cup final, we've been to FA Cup semi-final recently. Carabao Cup is a myth. FA Cup is our competition. And let's see, with Oliver Glasner, manager that's won a European trophy, let's see how far we can get. Of course, we've got Stockport at home first. I'm happy with the draw. I think the majority of the Palace fans are. But we're going to go down memory lane. And we're going to speak to Louis and everyone else about Stockport in 2001 because I was 1 years old around that time. So I don't remember a thing. We'll talk about the importance of the game, about who starts, rotation versus strength. And yeah, we'll go to score predictions and more. As always, like, subscribe, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you to all of you that have liked all the videos and live streams that we've been doing. Averaging over 200 most recently, so that's fantastic. So please, if you can keep that up, that would be great. So I'm joined by AJ, Stan, and Lou here. Gents, before we go down memory lane, how are we feeling after that Chelsea draw, focusing on FA Cup? I'll be honest, I'm excited. It should be, hopefully, a game which Palace should, with all due respect, easily go through to the next round at home. But for you, AJ, FA Cup, Stockport, excited or just like,
No, I think I'm a combination of excited and I think there's a bit of an expectation that I want the game to be taken seriously, and I think the manager will take it seriously as well. I think we've got enough relative quality to play a potentially weakened team, maybe just get a couple of players into the starting 11 and then just literally, we don't need a 6-0, just a 2-3-0 game. They're bringing a lot of fans. They're going to pretty much take over the half away, from my understanding. We're going to have our own fans as well. So I expect us to take the game very, very seriously and just progress on to the next round of the cup.
He will. I think he will. When we look at Oliver Glasner, even his comments after the Chelsea game, he's going to take this game seriously. But for you, Stan, how serious should he take it? And by that, I mean with the lineup. Do you expect to see rotations from the Chelsea game? A lot of rotations, a few rotations? Or do we go same full strength, literal 11 in this game? Or does your boy Nketiah start? Or Kamada start?
I think Nketiah will start. I think Kamada will probably start. I think there will be a little bit of rotation, but I think he's going to play a strong team. And I think he should take it very seriously because the FA Cup is our competition. It's the greatest competition in the world, and it's the trophy I want to see us win most. So yeah, I think you should take it very seriously.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the lineups in a bit more detail. But before we do get into the game in particular, Louis, you was at that game, Stockport 2001. As I've said, I was maybe a year old, or was I even a year old? I don't even know, depending on the date.
May.
You was a mascot. We could have been put down to League One. So teach all the youngins what happened on that day.
I wasn't a mascot at the last game of the season, but I was with my dad. I remember this is the time where you had to listen to the other results on the radio with the headphones in, or you was at home with the teletext.
Yeah, I know about teletext.
Before the days you could check your phone. I think we were battling against Huddersfield. They were playing.
It was Huddersfield, yeah.
Huddersfield v Birmingham. And there was about 4,000 or 5,000 Palace fans. What happened? And it's 0-0. Huddersfield are losing. At that moment, we're going down, and ball comes in the box, and Hopkins handballs it. Most blatant handball you ever see. Ref doesn't give it. Boots the ball up the end. Clinton Morrison pulls it down and gives it to Dougie Freeman. Goes through 3 or 4 players, sticks it in the top corner. You just see pile on the pitch, all the Palace fans piling on the pitch. Yeah, and then we ended up winning, staying up, the big pitch invasion. You saw everyone on their radios listening to the Huddersfield game, and we stayed up. That was, I think, just after Simon Jordan took over.
Yeah.
And that's the closest we've been to going to League One, apart from when the Sheffield Wednesday game. So it was a big moment in our history, because a couple of seasons later we got promoted. Just like what happened after the Sheffield Wednesday one, a couple of seasons later we got promoted.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the most iconic game. I think after the Brighton playoff game, I think that's the best game, most important game I've been to. That and the Sheffield Wednesday game.
You know what? I'm actually so happy I missed that part of Palace history because I don't know if I could deal with that. Like, in terms of the stress, I don't know how you
character. I think everyone, any fan over the age of about 30 who's going regularly will remember that game.
Yeah,
well,
and was probably there.
Unfortunately, I'm not above the age of 30, but yeah, I mean, we have come a long way from those days. I mean, we're talking about the likes of players in our squad that are worth 60 million, 70 million, 80 million, 100 million. Like, it's just crazy figures. Back then, were Palace even worth that much? Forget about a single player. So yeah, football has changed a lot. Palace have come from a long way. But of course, we want to look up rather than down, and it's good to face Stockport once again, and they're in League One. Funny enough,
they just come from Conference North, by the way. They was in the Conference North.
They're flying. They got a lot of money behind them now as well. They're a club on the up for sure.
But remember, they were playing us as a championship, mid-table championship team that 20 years ago. Then obviously they had a big drop off. Then someone with a lot of money took them over when they was in the Conference North. And,
football's like that, though, man. Football's like that. That's why you can't stand still. You have to be careful because it can be ruthless. All it takes is one relegation, and all of a sudden a few players leave. And if you don't do the recruitment right, you can easily drop from the Championship to League One and then League Two. Look at Portsmouth. They dropped massively over the years, and they're still a big club, but it happens, and that's why clubs like Everton are worried. But look, we're not here to talk about drop off. We're here to talk about positivity and going through to the next round. But oh my, but it's still good. It's still good that we can look back on those days and now reflect and say, look how far we've come, and look, we're facing Stockport with the expectations that we should be beating them. But we mentioned the lineup a bit. Let's get into it now. For me, as mentioned already, I think Nketiah, Kamada starts in defence. Maybe Richards, Riyad if he's fit enough. With the rotations, I would make rotations. As I've said, we are facing Stockport, and I don't mean that with any disrespect. But if Chad Riyad or Chris Richards or Nketiah or Kamada cannot perform against Stockport, then there's a bit of a worry there. Mm-hmm. But on the other side of things, AJ, is it a case of not changing it too much to mess up the rhythm of the team? Because if you could put a whole different 11 that haven't played with each other, that could be a struggle as well. So how do you balance if you're Glasner in this game?
Well, you use it as a motivation tool to get yourself into the team. You do it as a point to prove that you're fit enough. We're the home team here. We're the Premier League team here. I think we've got enough quality in terms of the few youngsters that we've seen, and a couple of players that are sort of nursing themselves back to fitness to be able to put on a show. I wouldn't say no to players like Deveni, Kapura, Asha Agbon as well. I'd probably look at obviously Nketiah, Kamada's been mentioned. I would definitely be looking at Riyad. We need to know if he's fit now. He's played a few games on the under-21s. He's been on the bench a few times for us. I'd like to see Richards get a run out as well, because I feel like he needs a few games. I wasn't amazingly impressed with what I saw against Chelsea. Plus, it's all about building consistency as well. I think there should be enough quality in the team to get a result, because remember, some of these players have had cameo appearances against Premier League opposition this season and have done either right or done enough to kind of not fade him out of the limelight too much. I don't want him to go overkill and completely change the 11. If he keeps one or two in there that potentially need the fitness or potentially need the confidence, go down that path. But I feel like this is definitely an opportunity for a few players to showcase what they can do. And no opponent like Stockport should be dangerous enough to give us an issue, considering that they've lost probably one of their better players this season and he's gone back to Villa. So
yeah,
I think there's an opportunity there.
That's a massive part to this game. Louis Barry's gone back to Villa and he was scoring goals there. He was killing over there, and I was a bit worried. I'll be honest, even though he was doing that League One level, but he was a massive player for them. So he's gone back, and for that reason, I mean, my expectations for this game, we have to win. We have to win. But in terms of the front three, I think Kamada and Nketiah starts. But what about down the right hand side? Stan, Asha Agbanone has been mentioned by AJ. I guess we haven't really got that many other options, do we? I mean, if Kamada's starting on the left, or if Kamada starts on the right, then he starts on the left. You could see that, another player could come good. Or does he change formation for this game? Teta and Nketiah.
I think he'll give JP a rest because JP's played a lot of minutes this season. I think he might. I mean,
Devaney, to be fair.
Yeah, Asher might get a start. I think he might go with Sarr, to be honest with you. I think he might go with Sarr. Yeah, maybe you put Jeff Schlipp on the wing. I don't know.
No, I don't know about that one. I'll be honest. Like, I get rotations, but not that many. Not that many.
He's there, Blackburn. He's off the Blackburn.
I would say Asher's off on loan as well, right? Apparently he's going to Gillingham on loan. So
who, Asher?
There's talks of him going out on loan.
If that's the case, then yeah, I mean, it would be Kamada and Nketiah, and it could be Sarr. Like, it could be. And I'm not against that, to be fair. I think the midfield is where it gets a bit more interesting, Luke, because Doucouré, for me, had a good game against Chelsea. He couldn't, of course, play for 90 minutes, but I thought it was one of his better games since he's come back from his injury. And I'll be honest, I would like to see Doucouré starting this game. Because for me, eventually, I want him to be in the starting 11. If we can get 100% Doucouré back to the levels he was before, there was a reason he was linked to clubs for £70 million. He was that good of a midfielder. And for me, this could be an opportunity for him to start. And I think he should start. But do you change up with Lerma? I mean, we don't really have that many options, do we, in midfield? Where
to be fair, I wrote out a little team what I thought we could go with, but I also think players might have to do 45. One do 45, the other one do 45, or one does 50, one does 40. And I think you could probably manage the load of some of the players coming up to the game and then use a half or 50 minutes as minutes in their legs. Maybe not have as intense training on a Friday or Saturday, but maybe Turner in goal, Kupora the right wing back, Richards, Lacroix, Gahey to do 45 each, Riyad, Klein left wing back, then Doucouré and Lerma do 45 each with Devaney, Sarr and Eze do 45 each, Nketiah up top, Kamada on the left. I thought something along those lines.
But wouldn't that be too much rotation? Let's say the game's going against us. I don't know.
But then you keep your bigger hitters on the bench. But I'm saying you've got Eze on the bench. Because you'll be starting with a front three of Kamada and Nketiah and Sarr, with Doucouré and Devaney in the middle. You got Lacroix at the back, Richards. Like that's enough in the team, I think, to get a win. Yeah,
I don't know if he'll start with Kupora though, because Klein is there as well. But then again, I think it's a very.
Klein's got to play left wing back because Mitchell can't play. Mitchell cannot play this game.
Are you sure? Because he can.
Well, he can.
He can.
It would just be so stupid.
We're playing Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, we playing in December. Look at the December list. We played Arsenal.
Monday, Wednesday, Sunday.
It's too much of a risk. And that is the typical kind of game he'd pull up in. That is the kind of game that Mitchell would pull up and get injured in. I could just see it happening now.
Play Klein now, man.
I agree.
I feel like we kind of disrespect the Stockport a bit too much. I left wing back. Nathaniel Klein.
He came on against Brighton at left wing back.
Yeah, but for how long? And
well,
if
he can come on for 15 minutes against Brighton, he can play there. You give Mitchell 30 minutes
defending. If with the wing back position, we need someone to be able to attack. I don't know. I guess it depends how the game goes, but I think Mitchell starts. I wouldn't even change Mitchell, to be fair.
I'm saying he might start, but my opinion is he shouldn't start.
Let's see. Let us know in the comment section down below what you lot think.
What do you lot think? What do you think, AJ?
Yeah, what do you lot think, AJ and Stan?
I think we should rest him. I think it's just too. It's too much. Like, there is playing him week in, week out, and then I know obviously we might potentially be bringing someone through the window, but it has him getting injured or him putting up a hamstring all over it. So I'd rest him.
Yeah,
we just put him on the bench.
Lower league teams, they're still very physical. I think it would be foolish to play him. It would be foolish
unless you play Schlupp there. Unless you play Schlupp.
I'll play Schlupp there. I'd rather play Schlupp than Klein.
Yeah, I'd rather play Schlupp there.
But the left foot. And
you know what? You could play.
I think Klein
will be out of breath in 10 minutes.
You could play Klein right centre back as well.
Exactly. I would rather that. Yeah. I would rather that because with Klein, what I'm worried about is that he's going to cut inside at the same time as Kamada. There's going to be no width. And I think
play shut.
Stockport, they also play 3 at the back as well. I'm pretty sure they play 3 at the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think their wing back could have a bit of fun over in that side. I don't think defensively it should be a major problem, but I don't think Klein's going to offer something going forward. If he was at the right hand side, yes, because he can put balls into the box with his right foot. But yeah, they do play with 3 at the back. So it's a similar system to us. In fact, they play 3-4-2-1.
I don't think we have any players that can like give us something attacking down that left side.
Well, that's the thing. We need to sign players, and just quickly before we go into score predictions. I mean,
you never know. France might make the bench.
What was that?
France might make the bench. You never know.
Nah, no way.
Apparently, he's waiting for under 21 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
Yeah,
he needs to get through 2 weeks of full first team training before he plays minutes.
Yeah. And look at Decore. They took their time with Decore. So for me, France, there's no way. Like, I'll be shocked if maybe he can make the bench, I guess, but he'll be at the bench for bench sake. Like, I can't imagine France coming on at halftime. Maybe like 10 minutes or 15 minutes at max. If Glasner wants to do that, because he did say that he needs to play for under 21s. But when we're talking about certain positions like wing back, it shows how important it is, right? In terms of us signing a player. Are you lot still confident? Right now, as a recording, it's Tuesday the 7th of January. But are you lot confident that we'll get the wing back sorted? Maybe before this game or after this game?
Yeah, it's more quiet. Everything's gone a bit quiet, which I'm hoping means something's brewing.
This would have been the perfect game for Juve.
Yeah,
it would have been a perfect game. It would have been against Stockport County.
He wants to take him off the plane and put him onto the pitch immediately.
Yeah, because he's training like there's nothing wrong with that.
He's gonna have the kit and boots ready from when he comes out of Gatwick.
100%. What's wrong with that? If he's ready, if he's playing football already, like all he has to do is get off the plane and then just put the same boots on and play at Selhurst Park rather than in Prague. Like,
a minute ago you were talking about disrespecting Stockport, and then you're talking about playing a player.
If Juve is playing in the Europa League, then he should be ready to play against Stockport. Whereas Klein is not left wing back. Klein is at best a right back.
But he's played there before.
He's playing down a complete different side. Juve plays down the left hand side.
Yeah, but Klein knows the system. He trains every day. Like, what we do?
Well, let's see what happens.
I think the club just needs to get the deals done ASAP because we might, if we get Stockport and we do beat them. Nothing's guaranteed. Obviously, there's a lot of giant killings, banana skins in the FA Cup. You know how it is. Teams are up for it. We do beat them. There's no guarantee we're getting an easy draw, and we're going to need depth if we're going to progress in this competition.
When is the next round?
February.
I think it's like, is it late Jan, early Feb?
No, it's the second week
of February.
Is it?
After the Man United game.
Yeah, it'll be another weekend game, but let's see. I mean, let's get through to the next round, then we can talk about who would want. Right now, it's a bit too early for that, and I'm not going to get carried away. But let's move on to score predictions. I'm going to go for 2-0 Palace. I think we should be able to get the job done, even with rotations. I think Glasgow will take the game seriously. Also, the players will as well. They should. As long as they're not complacent, I think we've got enough in this side to get it done. Let's go around. AJ?
4-1.
4-1. We're not keeping a clean sheet. Fair enough. Stan?
2-0.
Lou?
Go 2-1.
2-1.
Cheeky goal.
How it should be. I mean, we should be winning. We should be winning this game. If we don't win this game, I'm going to be very, very upset. If we get knocked out by Stockport at home. Like, I want a cup run. I want an FA Cup run. I love the FA Cup. And the fact that we've got Glasner as our manager, I have more faith that if we do progress later on down the line, this is a guy to lead us forward. So, we gave Arsenal a good game. Scoreline wasn't too bad, 3-2 away from home. So I think we should be able to compete. But let us know your score predictions in the comment section down below. That's it from us. Make sure to check out all the latest content, including the latest Palace news episodes. We are live daily at 7 p.m. as well as there's news, we will be there. But that's it from us. And until next time, up the Palace.